And let me know if you have questions on that. Okay. I'm going to move on to Michelle's question. So Michelle says, not sure if others are having the same issue, but since we have limited stockpiles of food, trying not to go to the store, it's been hard to get my 5-year-old to understand that once she says she wants a food, that will be her meal. No changing her mind and cooking something else while letting the original food go to waste. We just don't have the luxury of wasting food during this time. And we should probably get better about that during normal times too. So, yes, Michelle, I love this question. And I think that this kind of goes back to my whole division of responsibility. Parents provide the food, kids decide if they want to eat it or not. But I think this is a good opportunity and an opportunity to really talk to her about it. I listened to a really great podcast about talking to kids about the coronavirus and what's going on. And I can link to it if anybody's interested. But what I thought was really interesting is that, or not interesting, but what I really liked about it is that you have to gauge your child and kind of where they're at developmentally, emotionally, how they react to certain situations. So for my family, we've talked to my 5-year-old and talked to her about a little bit about what's going on, and everything's closed. We say there's a sickness going around, and we're going to stay home, and we talk a little bit about it, and I mean, that's more of kind of a parenting thing, but I've said sometimes the foods that we usually have, we're not going to the store as much, so they're not going to be available. And I'm really trying to hone in on the fact that I want her to know this is what we're having, and I'm sorry, but this is what's on the menu, and if you don't like it, you don't have to eat it. I do want to make sure that it is a food that I know that she has eaten in the past, or one of her yes foods where I know it's a food that she likes, but I'm trying to let her know that that's what we're having. The other thing that I've done, not with this, but just in the past with my daughter, is we work together to create a meal plan for the day, and we write out that meal plan. So we, even though she can't read, we're still writing it out. We're talking about it. We're kind of creating it together based on the food that we have. And then when dinner time comes around, I say, this is what we're having. This is what's on the meal plan. If there's something that she wants that we don't have, I go back to that framework. If you watched any of my videos on my What Do I Say series, so responding to kids' asks and requests, I usually respond in a 3-part series. So the first thing I do is I acknowledge, you really, really wanted that. The second thing I do is explain why we can't have it. We don't have that right now. That's such a bummer. And then the third thing I do is talk about, I'm making a list for the next time that we go to this store. Would you like me to help put that on the list? So we're giving them a little bit of the autonomy. Unfortunately, I find, with this situation, it's really hard, and we have to make do the best that we can. And I know that, our tempers are high, their tempers are high, we're stressed, they're stressed. But the more that we can really acknowledge, and acknowledging from a place of truth behind that, not acknowledging from a place of, not pretending. So really feeling for them. But letting them know, setting those limits. We don't have that on hand, but, next time we go to the grocery store, let's definitely get that. So keeping things in the positive as much as possible as well, and talking about some of those things, I think can be really, really helpful. So, Michelle, I hope that was a helpful answer to your question. Let me know. And then I think this goes back to that food waste piece. So figure out how you can reuse. There's a few dietitians that I know who've been posting some great info on Instagram and blog posts about reusing food and pantry items, so I will share those links with you guys in here as well. Okay. Allison, I'm not sure if you're still on, but I'm going to